Oh man, greetings, greetings, greetings to each and every one of you. Welcome to the Created for Change Virtual Summit. Listen, we have been anticipating this day. The Creating Change Group. We want each and every one of you to get something out of this to create that change that you have on the inside of you. I don't know who you may be. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are currently because I see that we have been represented from so many different states in this particular summit. So we're excited about what's about to happen. I don't care if you are a life coach. Doesn't matter if you are a teacher, a professor, an entrepreneur, a pastor, a writer, an author. Doesn't matter what you do. We all need change in our life. And I'm not talking about necessarily where you're moving from one state to the next or one city to the next. Sometimes we just need a pick me up. Sometimes we just need to be motivated. And so that's why the Created for Change Virtual Summit is here today. Today is the day. So you have made it. I'm so grateful you are here. So listen, I want each of you to do me a favor as we come in here. I want you to love it. Then I want you to share it. Let's invite some people in so they can be a part of it. We're not going to be here long at all, but I have wonderful speakers. I mean, representing Utah, representing the Carolinas, representing Georgia, representing Florida, representing Texas. They come from everywhere. And I'm so glad that this group has joined me on today. So you're going to hear some great things. I mean, talking about different subjects from business to financial literacy. And even we're going to have this great speaker that's going to come in and talk about just that family dynamic of like special needs and things like that. In order for changes to happen in all of our life, we have to make that particular adjustment to what it is that we have been given in our life. And so listen, we're about to go in, we're about to have a great time. Listen, you have been created for change, and today is the day you get to find out why. All right. I'll see you on the inside. I'm going to log on my television now. All right. See y'all.
Hey everyone, this is Gerald Lee. Welcome to this next training video. In the last video, we discussed the importance of posting daily in order to increase profile visits, reach, and exposure. But what exactly should you be posting on your profile? Well, today we're going to discuss something we call the branding cycle. The branding cycle is a strategic posting style which will allow your audience to get to know you, get to trust you, and get to like you. This posting method is used a lot by known marketers online, and I'll give you examples along the way so that you can understand it better. Now, the reviews you see here are from recent entrepreneurs and business owners that use this same branding cycle system, and you also see some of the results that they're getting. Some of them have even decided to implement this with their sales teams. Now, here's a big part of my motivation. I am big on family, and here are some of my business accolades. I'm thankful that I can provide a nice life for my family while building my own dream. See, we live in a wonderful age where technology allows for many opportunities for entrepreneurs to create a new work environment that allows you to balance work and life. And I cannot help but feel fortunate to live in a time such as this in a place because we're truly fortunate to have this. Just thinking back gives me an adrenaline rush. When I left the six-figure job 17 months ago, and only had a loose business plan and a lot of passion and ideas, I really didn't know where this journey would lead me. But I got to tell you, I've been on a roll that I could have never imagined possible. In this year, I've been published worldwide, helped over 150 individuals like yourself, maybe even, launch their businesses. And I've made some really strong business partnerships and relationships. So I count my blessings each and every day. But I tell you this, my success would not have been possible without the effort that I put into it. So let's get into it so that you can learn how it works and you can start implementing these things right away. See, this is a content strategy that will take your business to another level if you implement it correctly. Now, the first post in the branding cycle is an interest or authority post. This type of post is meant to either build interest with your target market or to show your authority in your field, or it can do a little bit of both. So what type of post can you create that will build interest in what you do and also show authority? Well, this would come from your brag bank. And let's talk about that. Your brag bank is the list of accolades or any successes you've accomplished in your field of business. Now, let me give you some examples from different businesses. I've used marketing and websites to become a top producer with several different businesses with unrelated markets. That's one of my accolades. If my goal is to be able to sell websites to my target audience, then posting that accolade would help get them interested because it would show that I must be good at my job, and to be able to get ranked in the top of different businesses using specific techniques and websites. So does that make sense? Your brag bank is your list of accolades, things that you've accomplished. Don't get these confused with success stories or testimonials from clients, okay? Now, your accolades are all about you and the impact that you've had on others or the community. So, for example, let's say I sell t-shirts. An accolade could be that I've sold over 10,000 t-shirts in 10 different countries. That's an accolade that you could show people that your clothing is international and people must want it if you sold over 10,000 of them in 10 different countries. Or if I sell beauty products, an example of an accolade could be our products were the most selected choice for blemish removal amongst teenagers in the past 5 years. That's an accolade. You see, those aren't specific testimonies from individual people. Those are your own successes and impact that you've had. So I want you to think about the accolade I want you to think of all your accolades that has had to do with your business and start to write them down and make a list. Now, if a lot of people told you that the material in your clothing is the most comfortable that they've worn, then you could report that as an accolade by getting exact numbers and saying over 500 local residents have reported XYZ apparel to be the most comfortable material they've ever worn. If your coaching services have helped people become millionaires, then that's an accolade worth talking about and sharing because it will get people interested in what you do. So, do you see how making posts about your accolades can help generate more interest in your product or services? Well, don't be afraid to be your biggest cheerleader. All of your accolades are a part of your brag bank and they will garner interest among your target audience. So that's one example of a type of post to generate interest. Let's talk about a post that can show your authority. People who are in authority will know the stats and facts about the industry and how to utilize them. Statistics and facts will show people that you're knowledgeable in your industry and will set you apart as an authority figure. Authority posts are informative and about facts. They are not based on personal experience, but rather known things in your industry that your colleagues would easily agree on. So, for example, I'm in the marketing industry, digital marketing to be exact. And since I was a single father for over 15 years, I have a soft spot for helping single parents. So when marketing to them, I could make a post that says the US has the largest percentage of children living in single parent households, and also list your source if you can. But generally, if you're informing your audience of something that you feel is important for them to know. Now, as a marketer, I could inform you of this stat and then go on to explain why I believe as a business you should be using Instagram. The more stats and facts that you inform your audience about, the more they will be amazed at what you know. So let me give you some more examples. About the more posts you make informing them of new things, the more you become an authority in their eyes and the more interested they may become in your product or services. So that's it for the first post in the branding cycle. That's how you make interest or authority posts. The second post in the branding cycle is a proof and expertise post. The goal of these type of posts is to show proof of the work that you do or to show your expertise in your field. This is the stage where you can make posts that highlight your testimonials or success stories. Showing testimonials through your posts is a proof of the work that you do and that you do it well. Now, to show your expertise, you can give tips and advice on things related to what you do. Let's look into these examples. If you run an accounting firm, give your audience tips on how to manage their business expenses. If you're a business coach, tips on growing and expanding a business will help to show your expertise. If you sell a physical product, like let's say barbecue sauce, giving tips and advice on how to use the sauce and the types of foods it goes best with will show your expertise. If you sell apparel, you could give fashion advice and tips on how to rock your apparel, like with which accessories or shoes or other things. Let people see your expertise and that you know what you're talking about. Then throw in some posts and highlight how much people have love your services and products. These posts will provide proof of your services or proof of how good or of a product that you have. If you don't have any testimonials or reviews from other people yet, I would recommend telling others of your own successes, things that you've had with your services or products. For example, if a certain drink or workout routine has helped you lose 30 pounds, use that to your advantage and tell people about it. That's a win that will show people proof of your service. If you offer coaching to people in relationships but have no testimonials, then tell or show them how your tips or advice have improved your own relationship. Remember, you can always be your own success story. Oftentimes, we're the first person to see success in our products or services. So that's the second post in the branding cycle, a post that shows proof of your work or testimonials. The third post in the branding cycle is a demonstration or a sample post. This is the type of post where you can show a portfolio of your work. These types of posts should demonstrate you doing the work that you do or show tangible parts of your work if possible. So for example, if you're a website designer, you can make posts showing your website designs. That's your work. If you sell apparel, make posts showing your clothing on models or just laid out. If you sell services like coaching, you can show images of you working with clients or show behind the scenes images of you working in your office or on the computer or creating coaching plans. Get creative and use imagery that displays your work in your day-to-day workflow, especially for your service providers. Show parts of your day and what you do. Let me see images of you in action. These images or types of images that you could show in your element. And this could be you creating shirt designs for your clothing company, attending a meeting, coaching clients, lifting weights if you are a fitness professional, and more. But use this third branding post to show samples of your work or a demonstration of your work. Now, the fourth and final post in the branding cycle is the trust and likability post. This type of post should show more of a human side of you. Use this post or type of post to create trust, to get others to like you. And to do this, you got to be a little vulnerable here. With social media, people seem to always show the perfect areas of their life, but the truth is, life is not perfect and we all have our good We all have our bad, especially when it comes to days. So show your audience the not so good stuff that happens during your days. And this will show them the real side of you, and it'll allow them to see how you deal with challenging situations. So here are some things you can post for these types of posts. Make posts that highlight your highs as well as your lows. If you got into or onto 5 sales calls today and closed none of them, you can make a post that basically tells the story of your experience or that experience. Tell your audience what happened and how you felt and how you plan to move forward. Did not closing any of those calls break you? Did you learn the mistakes you made on those calls? Allowing your audience to see the nitty gritty of your workflow will allow them to see how real and honest you are, therefore increasing your chances of selling and talking to them, and also for them to like you. As they say, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. These type of posts will help you increase the like and trust factor while allowing your audience to get to know you or your business on a more personal level. Speaking about a personal level, if you're building a personal brand, I would encourage you to show images of your family life or you with your kids if you're comfortable. I do this often with my own account. Audiences love these types of personal posts. If if you're building a business brand, show posts of behind the scenes looking at your business. Perhaps you with your team working or how you get stuff done during the day. These are all vulnerable type of posts. Other ideas for posts could be to make posts that are related to your audience. To do that, you could post a few inspirational quotes or wise sayings on your account with a good caption explaining your thoughts on it. Oftentimes, I've seen motivational posts and sayings do well because many people can relate to their message. Get a quote or saying from online and explain it from your own point of view. With all the quotes on my profile, all of my captions are my own point of view, and it allows my audience to see how I think or what I believe. Next, I would encourage you to make some posts that require engagement from your audience. Posts that ask direct questions or ask for opinions from your audience are a good way to build a trust and likability factor. They will also get your audience to be active. To do this well, I would advise you to share your opinion about things related to your field or industry, and then ask your audience what they think about it. For example, with me being in marketing, I could ask my audience this: which social media platform do you think is best for growing your business? And I've actually done a post like this, and it's done well. You could even do a fill in the blank post like this one here. These are really good posts to get your audience involved. Or you could take any quote from online. It doesn't matter what the quote says, just post a quote and ask who agrees with this. Or you could say, if you agree, drop an emoji below. With these types of engaging posts, you want to keep it fun if you can. Now, as I mentioned, if you can keep your engagement posts to things related to your industry like marketing or fashion or food, then that's good. But some of your engagement posts can be random topics like, what's your favorite place to travel to? This question will work well on a travel account, but just for fun, you could also use it in your account to keep things exciting. Just be sure that the majority of your engagement posts are not that random. The majority of them should be related to your industry, your work, or your field. So let's do a quick recap. To make posts that will create likability and trust, post things that show the highs and low of your day. Share things that are relatable to your audience and to you. Get vulnerable and show behind the scenes of your life or business. And you should start creating engaging posts to get your audience involved and active. So that's the first post in the branding cycle. So now that you've learned all of the 4 posts of the branding cycle, let me tell you when you should be posting them. For those of you that will only post once a day, you can use one post from the branding cycle per day. If you're facts, they allow your audience to see that you are the authority on a specific topic because you know so much about it. This first content objective is all about informing your audience about either your accolades or facts related to your product, service, or industry. That's how the informed content objective fits in with the first branding cycle post. The second content objective you learned in the earlier lesson was about educating your audience. This content objective fits with the second post in the branding cycle, which is all about proof and expertise. Educating your audience is done when you show your expertise. Earlier, I told you about giving your audience tips and advice in order to show them your expertise on a specific topic. So that's how the educate content objective fits in with the branding cycle. The next content objective is to inspire. That aligns with the post in the branding cycle that is about trust and likability. If you remember doing the lesson on trust and likability, I told you that you could also post some quotes on your page. Those can be inspirational posts that inspire and motivate your audience. Now, as far as the entertain content objective, you could entertain your audience in various ways. With a trust and likability branding cycle, I encourage you to show behind the scenes of your personal life or your business life. Those are things that can keep your audience entertained. Think about the entertainment industry, where they have many shows on TV, from reality shows and scripted shows that keep audience entertained and engaged. You can do the same thing through your posts. Entertainment isn't limited to just humorous things. So there you have it. That's how the content objective works with the branding cycle posting style. It goes hand in hand. I know this was a lengthy video and lesson, so I hope it was easy to take in. In the future, I'll show you how I actually make posts using the branding cycle. But for now, I gotta run, and I'll see you on the next lesson.
A resident of Atlanta, Georgia, Ebony Brown is the founder and owner of Top of the Line Financial Services, LLC. With nearly 2 decades of experience in the financial services industry, Ebony is a well-respected accountant, national notary public, bookkeeper, mortgage signing agent, credit specialist, life insurance agent, tax preparer, and life and business coach. She is the author of 300 Ways to Maximize Your Money, Morning Nuggets, and a children's book titled I Like Me Every Day. Ebony understands the importance of maximizing financial opportunities. Her hard work and passion for financial freedom is contagious to anyone willing to work and be free. Ebony has proven knowledge to help you maximize your money and is passionate about teaching people about budgeting and financial literacy.
Good afternoon. My name is Ebony. Welcome to Created for Change Virtual Summit. A little bit about myself. My name is Ebony Alexis, and I am an accountant. I graduated from Florida State College of Jacksonville with the accounting degree. I'm 39 years old. I have 2 children from Florida, moved to Georgia, been here for 2 years. Absolutely love it. So outside of me being an accountant, I do taxes. I am a notary public. I'm a licensed life insurance agent as well. So I do a plethora of things. I believe in being very educated and skilled. I am the author of 300 Ways to Maximize Your Money. So I talk about saving, investing, and making money. I also two-time published author, Morning Nuggets, Be Not Deceived. And so that basically talks about personal development, spiritual growth. It gives you some nuggets about that day-to-day life. And then my last book that I came out with last year is Ebony Alexis Presents I Like Me Every Day, 40 Ways to Show It. It is a children's book, very close to me. I have 2 children, so it's about affirmations, talking about bullying, what it is to have a role model, the difference between a role model and a mentor. Just making sure you groom yourself and things to try to deter people from trying to pick on you, making sure that you are up to par. So those are the 3 books that I have. My website is www.ebonyaBrown.com. So you can reach me there. You can reach me on Facebook, Ebony Alexis, and on Instagram is Ebony the Accountant. So definitely follow me. I follow back. I give good content. As we know, this is tax season is upon us, getting ready to end on April the 18th. So I've been very busy, with that, just teaching people on how to implement, making sure that your taxes are, your reportings are correct, because when you start your job, you fill out your W-4 information, and you have to make sure your filings are correct, so that way it reduces your taxable income. So when you're married, if you have it like 2 and 3 children, you could do married 0. So they can try to take out the max. So you could do single 0. That way it helps you, especially if you don't have children, and you don't have a lot of charitable donations, contributions, it will help you to reduce that taxable debt. So that is something very important. I always tell my clients, do you want to get paid on your paycheck, or do you want to get paid at the end of the year? And so based upon that answer will let me know how to educate you all with how you need to file on that W-4 form. Even with doing self-employed, if you make $100,000, 20% of that, $20,000 you're going to owe, minus your deductions and credits, but that's like the main thing. So that 20% when you're self-employed, you can create an account, make sure you budget very well. You can budget on your phone, very easy, pen and paper, old school, Excel, whatever is easy for you to do your bookkeeping, you do it that way. That way you can help me help you, as I like to say. So you make it easier for whoever you go to do taxes. When your bookkeeping is good, it helps us. So, for that, when it comes to taxes, make sure you have that correct. Make sure you open up accounts set aside for your business. Never commingle your funds. If you have a business, use your business account, business debit card. That way, again, it's easy. If you ever got audited, you're not paying for, if you're using gas for your business, that you're not using your personal account, you use your business for that. Make sure you pay yourself. When you get paid, you can do 10 to 20%. Write that check to yourself, deposit it to your personal account. Make sure you always pay yourself, be accountable for that. Hey, we're working hard, so we should get paid, right? So that's very important as well. Even down to budgeting, I have like a budget worksheet I like to give my clients as well. Very easy. You can get it offline. I find a lot of times people don't know how to budget, but it's very easy. It's basically your income and your expenses. You know what I'm saying? So you can write down everything that you have, your cell phone, groceries, dining out, miscellaneous, budget for everything. I am very meticulous when it comes to that. So make sure that you have a budget sheet. Again, if you don't get it offline, you can create one yourself on Excel, Word document, old school pen and paper. We use our phones for everything. You can do that as well. The next thing is saving money as a single woman. A lot of single women are in denial about their financial situations. Single women have some challenges when it comes to the big three of spending: housing, food, and transportation. For housing, consider a small apartment, a tiny house, and either renting a room in someone else's house or buying a house yourself and renting out a bedroom or basement. That gives extra income, and you can live in a much smaller space if it's just you. To save on food costs, single women can follow a lot of the same tips on groceries as families, cooking in batches, and then single portions help out a lot. Meal prepping as well, that helps as far as portion control, and with groceries as well. You, like I say, go to the grocery store, get your meat, your veggies, get you some rice, whatever, portion it out, rational it out, and you could just go from there. Also, as even a single person or even married, you always want to have an emergency fund. I tell my clients anything can happen. I have all type of accounts for different things. For vacation, I have an expense account, and I have an emergency fund account. If something happens, you get a flat tire, whatever, then you're able to have that. It's also good to have a credit card as well. At least one. I have several. I have over 100,000 worth of business credit. That's another topic at another time. We'll get into business credit. I help people as well to get established with that. But for just basic like budgeting and just maximizing your money, like I said, cooking batches and then freezing single portions. Transportation, we see gas is at an all-time high, so electric vehicles are the way to go right now. But again, if you have to budget for gas, know your mileage. You might can't go everywhere like you used to, so go to work, come back, be still. If you have to walk, get a bike, you can do that as well. So you can try subcompact cars. As long as you don't have to have a car seat or something in there, you could do, two-seater, something kind of, real small. Like that. So back to emergency fund. Emergency financial plan can prepare you for when life inevitably goes sideways, and a big part of that is robust emergency fund. Start slow with $100 or even $25 a month. You can even do 5, 10, 15. Just do something out of every check. Make sure you are able to put that in some type of an emergency fund account. And you build it up for several months of expenses. You could try a cash budget for a while, because that often end up keeping spending down. If you think about inexpensive or free ways to go out, and consider getting a side hustle just to save up for special funds. So again, that is a way that you can maximize, your money as well. Again, if you get my book, I give you 300 easy, simple ways my 8-year-old can understand. It's so easy. And I give you so many tips and things that you wouldn't think of normally to save, invest, and to make money. According to thecredit.com, many people aren't adequately prepared to manage paying for unexpected expense or emergency. According to the Federal Reserve's 2020 survey of household economic and decision making, 47% of Americans say they wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency expense. $400. Most Americans cannot. So that often leads to maxing out credit cards, taking out expensive short-term loans, or worse. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get into debt when you could just save, and that's why budgeting is so strategic, and you have to be very strict with it and be very disciplined with it as well. Again, tax allowances for paychecks, withholding allowances directly affect how much money is withheld from your pay. So claiming more allowances will lower the amount of income tax that's taken out of your check. Again, told you in the beginning, you can either want to get paid on your paycheck so you can go exempt, or you get it back at the end of the year. So that's basically up to you. But if you don't claim enough, then you will end up, owing at the end of the year. So these are just some small tips. Again, connect with me. I only had a certain amount of time. I hope you all enjoyed what I did have to say. Again, www.ebonyaBrown.com. My business is Top of the Line Financial Services. I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but connect with me. I'm here, and see you soon. Bye.
A native of Jacksonville, Florida, Katrina Adams is an entrepreneur and a mindset coach. She is the owner of both the Diamond Experience and Reigning Moisture Natural Body Care. With a love of people, Katrina has interests in networking and being active in her community. She is skilled in communication with a focus on clear, rational, and positive outcomes.
My name is Katrina Adams, owner and founder of Reigning Moisture and the Diamond Effect. Today we will be speaking about creating change. We all are created for change. We each hold a responsibility to ensure that we are teaching at least one or more individuals within our lifetime. This will help make the world a better place and our communities a better place. But before we do that, we have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. Mental health and self-love is very important. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in what you're capable of doing, then you can't expect anyone else to believe you or follow you. If you think about the word impossible, nothing is impossible. There's nothing that we can't do. If you break that word down, it's I'm possible, meaning regardless of what you are faced with in life, that it's possible that you can be successful as long as you work hard at it. These are hard lessons, but at the end of the day, they will pay off. We have to teach the ones that want to be taught. We have to lead the ones that want to be led. A lot of people in the world are so lost. They're so lost because they don't have anyone to talk to, any direction, any guidance, or anything. And that doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't mean that they won't be successful or they can't do anything. It just means that they're lost. So if you have someone in your life that you feel is lost and that needs guidance from you, ask that person, out to lunch. Ask them, do they want to talk, or just be a friend or a listening ear. You'll be so surprised how it changes someone's life completely. You may even save someone's life with something you've said. So it's important to always pay attention to your surroundings and people that you interact with, but it's also important to protect your own energy. You have to protect your energy. You have to keep your energy positive in order to express positive energy to others. Reciprocation is the most important thing in communication. And if we're reciprocating things, we must ensure that we understand what's being said or what's being taught. And if we don't, we have to ask questions. That's what's wrong partially with the world. We don't ask questions. When there's things that we don't understand, we just assume and we talk about it amongst ourselves instead of going to the source to ask questions to make sure that we're well educated on it. So today I'm going to go over a couple of topics, and I'm going to elaborate on them a little. Just some ideas that I've came up with to how we can create change, or what's important in the process of creating change. The number one thing is diversity. We must put ourselves in position and deal with people from different backgrounds and different areas. How can we learn if we just are stuck in our own ways and being around our own culture? That's why it's very important to travel and see things that we've never seen before, talk to people that we've never communicated before, just to challenge ourselves to get on a different mindset. That way we can express that and we can teach others based on what we've learned. The next thing is improvement. In order for us to grow, we have to improve on many things. We can't always think that we're in a mindset that we know everything and we have all the knowledge and we've experienced all of life lessons, because we haven't. So as long as we live in this world, there's always something that can be learned. And there's nothing that's impossible. We can always learn and know that anything is possible if we put our mind to it. If you break down the word impossible, it's I'm possible, meaning that as long as I am involved in anything, a decision, a project, or anything, it's possible that I can conquer that. I can succeed. I can get that done. So that's the mindset that we have to have. The next bullet point I have is sharing. A lot of times we have difficulty sharing things with others. We want to keep all of our ideas to ourselves, thinking that that's going to help us get on the next level when that's not the case. Sharing in many cases have helped my ideas and my creativity flourish. So you can build upon things when you share and you communicate and you network with others. So that's important, and we have to remember that. The next topic is circumstances. We can never allow our circumstances to dictate who we are and what our success would be. In many cases, your circumstances and the things that didn't work out in the past are what help us be successful today. So that's very important for us to remember, that our circumstances does not dictate or state no shape, form, or fashion who we are. Remember that. The next topic is positivity. Positivity is hard at times, but it's very important. If you think positively and you speak positive affirmations over your life, you'll be so surprised how things will just turn around for you. You'll be so surprised how things will flourish just because of your mindset. Mindset is very important. It's a very important factor that many people don't understand. And they think that, well, I'll never complete that job, or I'll never finish that project, when in many cases you can do it if you just think positively. So positivity is very important. And the last I checked, no one wants to follow a negative person. So if you want to teach someone, you have to be positive. The next topic is confidence. Confidence is also important. You must be confident in yourself. One way that you can be confident in yourself is know that you have to please anyone else but yourself. You don't have to please anyone else. So when you're happy with your choices and you're happy with your actions yourself, that's all that matters. You don't have to look to others to give you a pat on the back to build you up. We have to mentally learn how to build ourselves up. We have to depend on ourselves in order to be able to depend on others. So if we can't build ourselves up, we can't build others up. So therefore, our learning is blocked. There's some blockage there. So we have to make sure that we tap into that and make sure that we're on the correct mindset to be confident. And a big one that we have here is self-check. Self-check is very important. We have to self-check at all times. Sometimes we think other people are the problem and other people are causing issues. But when we really step outside the box and look at it, there may be some things that we can improve on. There may be some things that we can change to prevent so many things from happening. But we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to be able to step outside the box and look at ourselves to self-check to make sure that we're doing everything in our power that is right, not only for ourselves, but for others. Creating change is important in this world. As a matter of fact, it makes the world spin. Because if we never grow, if we never gain knowledge, if we never try new things and talk to new people, where would we be? The world would not go around and around. So we have to remember how important that is. And we have to put ourselves in a position to be in contact with the people that make changes, people that are on positive levels and positive notes, and they want to do things and they want to grow. And we have to go about those things, not thinking about ourselves all the time, but we have to think about others. That's super important. We don't want to always be self-centered. We want to self-check to ensure that we're not being selfish and self-centered. So that's a very important topic. So one of the most important things for me in business is to make sure that people smile. I love to see people smiling, and if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure that I get a smile out of my customer. I'm going to give them the white glove service. I'm going to make sure that they don't have any questions. So when you talk about business, communicating, education, anything, you have to have that positive mindset in order for people to want to follow you. You have to ensure that people can feel comfortable and happy around you in order for them to grow. And also, we have to make sure that we're not just talking about these things. We're not just saying, this is what we should do, A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. We have to make sure we're setting those examples. We have to make sure our actions are following those things. We don't want to get in front of crowds and pretend that we know everything and pretend that, we're the biggest teacher and things of that nature. We have to let people know that we are human, that we do have a heart. We have to bring back humanity. We see it day to day. Sometimes we see it and we hear stories of people in the world where they show humility. But in many cases, there's a lot of people that are not doing that. So we have to ensure that we're being humble and that we're treating people how we want to be treated. And we're taking the time out for others and doing work for others and not just doing everything for ourselves. So when you talk about creating change, as I indicated, we all can create change. We all hold a responsibility to ensure that we make a change in the world. There are so many negative things going on in the world, and change and love and communication and care and desire and all those things are needed in this world and in our community to make a change. So I suggest that we all collaborate as business owners, as business partners, as friends, as family. We all collaborate and put our minds together and create something that no one has never seen before, from generation to generation, in friendships and even in strangers. If you see a stranger, if you're walking down the street or a stranger comes across your path and they have a need, and it may not even be financial, sometimes a good word or a good positive action to show someone, that there's still someone out there that cares about them, and that can make the biggest difference in their life. So when we speak about people and we speak about change and we speak about the direction we want to go in, it all starts and ends with us. So we need to make sure that we're handling ourselves in a manner to create change. So thank you for listening to me go on and on today about creating change, because that is one of my passions. I love people. I love to be active in my community. I want to see my community be a better place. I want to see the world be a better place. So thank you today for listening to me, and have a great night.
From Royce City, Texas, Red Wallace is a husband, father, podcaster, church leader, and mindset coach. His mission is to help Christian entrepreneurs with their mindset, purpose, brand, and community.
Is it time for a pivot? Sometimes in life, we think we know the route to take, but God has other plans. Sometimes the best thing we can do is to shift our thinking, shift our perspective, and change our direction towards a better route for our lives. Hello, Created for Change Virtual Summit. It's an honor I was selected to be a part of this event. My name is Red Wallace. I'm a husband, a father, a church leader, and a mindset coach. My mission is to help creatives grow their creative-based business by transforming their mindset, cultivating their unique community, and building a more sustainable and fulfilling life as they leverage social media to spread their message and impact their world. old. Now picture this, the year is 2008. I'm a sophomore in high school. I believe in the gospel of Young Money, YOLO. Okay, a bit dramatic, but that's when I decided that I was going to be a famous rapper, a dope rapper. I believed that I was going to be the next Lil Wayne, the next Drake, and I stuck with it. Unlike a lot of the other SoundCloud rappers in my area that were around me, I even rapped a number of shows, big and small. You might see a clip here. And eventually, I turned into a Christian rapper once I was saved and gave my life to Christ. I even got to open up for Colton Dixon. Then in 2017, I made a pivot to be a worship drummer for our church. Funny story about that is I grew up in a small town, Texas, not far from the high school, and I could always hear the drum line playing from my house. And this was also around the time that the movie Drumline with Nick Cannon was super popular. So I even tried out in my middle school band to be on the drum line. And guess what? I didn't make it. So I put that dream aside. I put it on the shelf to collect dust. But then in 2017, after 2 attempts at trying out for my church's worship team, I finally made it. And even today, I'm very involved and passionate about playing. There is something to say about being persistent when it comes to your dreams, but that's just a sidebar for another conversation. It was also in 2017 that I started my podcast called the Better Than Best channel with the signature show Motivational Mondays, where my goal was just to inspire people to live their better than best life. But then in 2020, as most of you know, we went through a little something, right? And during that, I actually became a stay-at-home dad. I finally began to realize that God's pivot for me was to become a coach, to help other Christian creatives overcome their limited beliefs and discover their purpose. If that's you and you want to be motivated and encouraged in a practical way daily and weekly, then I really encourage you, join the Better Than Best Academy. It's just the easiest way you can connect is you'll see social medias either on screen or below. But anyways, what does all of this oversharing my personal story have to do with you and creating change? Well, I want to talk to you about the power of the pivot. I know if you grew up a fan of the sitcom Friends, or maybe you were just around people that were big fans of the show, then you cannot hear the word pivot without hearing Ross screaming it while holding a couch in his hands. But pivot means to make a turn on a swivel. It's a quick turn, a transition. And sometimes I see it as a juke or an audible for another sports reference because it can happen so fast. Now, pivoting is a sudden shift in strategy to assure successful execution. Healthy organizations model this necessity of pivoting to maintain growth and to be competitive and have an advantage in their industry. And I believe the most successful people in life know how to pivot. They know the power of the pivot. They are always researching the market and they're adjusting and A/B testing, always growing because the pivot is necessary and essential for your growth. Yeah, there's something to be said about being planted, remaining faithful to what you are called to do, and it's essential for your future and your growth. But sometimes you will be guided to make a pivot, to make a change, to grow to a greater capacity. With that said, I want to give you 3 ways that we can pivot so we can see a better outcome in our lives. And the first way is we must pivot our perspective. This is the best place to start, in my opinion, because oftentimes we can only see our lives in like front ways. We can only see our lives 180. We can't see a 360 view of our lives. We can't see our blind spots. We can't tell I can't see my back. I really hope I don't have a stain or some kind of crazy dye on my back. Do I? Okay, that might be a bit extreme, but the point I want to make there is this is why we need the right mentors or coaches or friends in our life that are going to be our guides, and they're going to show us the areas that we need to come up in and the areas we might need to fix, but also they were going to call out the greatness. See, we have trouble seeing that in ourselves. I don't know about you, but I can be my toughest critic. I can be my harshest judge. So please, if you are your worst critic, comment below so we can rally around each other, because I believe that someone at this virtual summit right now is right there where you are, or they might be a little ahead of you, and they can truly help you rise to the occasion. And let's really link arms and rise together. Now, the second way to pivot is we must pivot our position. Pivot your position. I look at it again with another sports reference or even a weightlifting analogy. If you were built to be a middle infielder, but you were smaller, quicker, you wouldn't be best fit to be playing outfield or even pitcher, especially if you didn't have an arm strength for that. Or if you wouldn't step under a squat rack with like 500 plus pounds on the bar and step under that weight if you knew you couldn't do that. Don't set yourself up for failure by trying to do things you aren't called to do. I'll say it again. Don't set yourself up for failure by doing the things you aren't called to do. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and streams that you're used to. Now, I'm not saying don't go try new things and don't grow and do uncomfortable things, but don't chase dreams that you weren't called to live. If your strength is in making videos or you have a terrible singing voice, then don't go try out for American Idol or The Voice. Stick to video editing, right? Know your strength and play to them. You are an expert in something, so go take up that space and position and watch God use your skills to impact your world. So we have the first one is pivot your perspective. The second one is pivot your position. And the third and final point I want to drive home today for you is pivot your priorities. What are you spending your time on? Really, what are you spending your time on? What systems do you have in place? Oftentimes we get so caught up in the daily life that we forget to do the tasks that will get us closer to our dreams, closer to our goals, and really move the needle in the right direction. We will spend time consuming social media instead of contributing to it in a way that will provide value to our community and grow our business or our personal brand. If you can't sustain your schedule right now, what makes you think that you can sustain it when you get more successful, when your influence begins to grow? Learn the art of saying no. I'm giving you the permission right now on this live summit. Have the ability to say no, grow in that ability to say no so you can own the power of your yes. Do the task and things that matter most, and you will generate the outcome you want long term. And in closing, don't be afraid of pivoting, my friend. Don't be afraid of testing and tweaking and modifying. You're in good company. The greatest people and the biggest successful brands, they know the power of developing themselves with pivoting and changing and always evolving as the market does. If you're in a space where you're looking for encouragement and just someone to be surrounded by in a network of champions, a community of champions, I like to call it, I really want to encourage you to join my Facebook community. You'll see a link right here on the screen or in the show notes somewhere. And I just want to personally invite you to that because I truly believe that someone watching right now, you watching right now, I truly believe that you will benefit from this. You might join this group and you might find best friends for life. You might find future business partners. You might unlock your purpose and destiny. So in closing, I really want to encourage you to pivot your perspective, pivot your position, and pivot your priorities to see the change that you want to see. And I always like to leave like this. We may be meeting for the first time, or you might have been riding with me for a while, but I consider you my family now. And I hope the best for your future, and I pray a blessing over you. Now let's go live better than best as we live created for change.
Yo, Jay Franklin here, celebrity eyewear stylist and owner of Would You Specs by Jay Franklin. Listen, can you imagine starting your own eyewear line? Can you imagine having your own branding of products? Can you imagine getting the maximum exposure that you can get relating to having your own eyewear line? Listen, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jay, why would I start an eyewear line? I'm so very glad you asked me that question. A few reasons why you should start an eyewear line is because it's a $1 billion industry. You get the maximum exposure. And guess what? We do the work for you. And I just want to talk briefly about my journey. My journey was difficult. And when I tell you, starting an eyewear line was not easy. I didn't get the help that I wanted or needed. I had to do research, countless hours of research, a lot of money spent on samples trying to figure out what glasses would go and fit my brand. And I want to tell you, it is not easy. It took me 5 years to get to where I'm at. But guess what? We have the total blueprint for you to maximize your success. And so listen, you got to hurry up and click the button so my team can help you to start your hour line and help you on your entrepreneurial journey in having your own branding of eyewear products. And so listen, I'm out of here. We'll holler. Go ahead and click the button. Don't wait. Go ahead and do it right now. Peace.
A native of Jacksonville, Florida, Sabrina Bortley is married to Daryl Bortley, and they have one son, Jonathan. She holds a master's degree in human resource management from DeVry University. Sabrina is passionate about the advancement of all people in the area of business and entrepreneurship. She has found herself at the helm of Marketplace Ministry and speaks on this concept each time the opportunity presents itself. She has assisted several entrepreneurs nationwide in the start of their businesses as well as ministry efforts. She is a licensed life and ministry coach and owner of SLB Enterprises. She is a member of several prestigious organizations and is the chief visionary of The Couch, The Conversation, The Coaches. Sabrina works closely with ministry leaders in the area of strategic marketing, business planning, image consulting, and content creation. She is an accomplished writer, author, and ministry leader. Sabrina lives by the motto, an open hand is never empty, and a closed palm is never full. As a minister of the gospel, Sabrina reminds her audience that walking in obedience is what it will take to get the job done.
Hello, and welcome into the Created for Change Virtual Summit. I am a Created for Change Virtual Summit partner, Coach Sabrina B. The name of my business is SLB Enterprises. You can connect with me at my website, www.ssbordley.org. Now, enough of those introductions. Let's get into our topic at hand. Today, we will be discussing professional positioning in the professional arena. We will focus our discussion on strategic alignment, pressure points, and cognitive development. Strategic alignment means linking a company's business environment and strategy with its resources and structure. For example, the key question in strategic alignment is built on the concept of how. Not what, but how. As a business owner, one must be fully aware of the grassroots work required to move into the next level of entrepreneurship. Establishing a solid vision and mission starts with the question, how do we do that? I'm sure Amazon executives ask the question, how do we become the #1 online shopping experience on a national spectrum? They wanted to go global. Before we can execute the use of a company's resources, we must determine how the strategic alignment contributes to the improvement of the business's processes/systems and the activity of its teams and departments. In a nutshell, we must know the how before we can move into the what. Pressure points in customer retention. Pressure points for growing companies are those issues that raise risk, such as pay inequity, harassment claims, lack of supervisory skills, lack of policies and processes, lack of customer service, and so forth. As a business owner, one of the biggest pressure points is how do we retain current customers and how do we obtain new customers. Take time to listen to the customer's needs, wants, and desires before making any preconceived product recommendations that do not necessarily satisfy the pressure points mentioned above. Refrain from simply selling to seal the deal, but sell to seal the deal by building a relationship. Knowing your customer base, your niche market, or your target market, remember, everyone is not your market. Their likes and dislikes. This, in turn, will increase your word of mouth recommendation and maintain your return on investment, your ROI, for years to come. Remember, we sell by listening. Cognitive development requires research, initiative, and drive. A business owner should always be creating SMART goals. Research their competitors and stay close to the pains and pleasures of those with whom they seek to do business. In other words, you got to put your ear to the ground and then put those boots on the ground. Business as we know it is no more the same. There are so many innovative ways to reach people and to provide the WIFM factor. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, what in the world is WIFM? I'm glad you asked. WIFM is what's in it for me. We all want to know, what is the benefit of me purchasing the product or of me investing in the service? When we talk about cognitive development, make sure that you are offering what the client, customer, member actually needs. Not what you think they need, but what would satisfy the problem. Offering a product or service should be a solution to the dilemma, not a temporary fix. So we want to make sure that in that customer retention, we are always offering a product or a service that can be utilized time after time. Even if you begin to build on that one thing and make it into several other things. I think a lot of times what happens is we as business owners get all kinds of ideas, especially those who are visionaries. We see everything that this business could be, but we fail to hone in on that one specific thing. What is the main thing that you will focus on, that you will be known for? What is that baked good that you make so well that everyone always comes to you to get that particular item? That's the main thing. What is your signature product or service? That's the main thing. Don't jump from thing to thing. Focus on the main, and the other can be added at the end. Today, we discuss professional positioning in the areas of strategic alignment, pressure points in customer retention, and cognitive development in the entrepreneurial mindset. I hope that I have said something today that will spark your interest, that will get you thinking a little bit more, that will even have you to research your particular service in your particular arena. Hope to talk to you all very soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have an absolutely amazing day.
Introducing Autism Vehicle Home Safety Kits with emergency responder vehicle alert stickers, personal profiles with autism needs and a communication board, masks and earplugs, keeping families and emergency responders educated and safe. Get yours today at sjchilds.org.
From West Valley City, Utah, Sarah Bradford is an independently published children's book author under the pen name S.J. Childs. Sarah writes on subjects such as autism, dyslexia, physical differences, anxiety, and more. She writes to help children understand themselves as well as support their peers with neurodiverse needs. Sarah's writings encourage love and inclusion in every situation. She is the CEO of S.J. Childs, LLC, a company with the vision and mission to bring support to families. Sarah is a member of the Autism Council of Utah and also the founder of Autism Advocate Support Group. She is a mother of 3 autistic children. Sarah is happily married to her husband of 18 years, who is also on the autism spectrum. She is a global autism speaker, as well as a talk show host of the S.J. Childs Show, a place she has found to be her new passion in connecting others and bringing value to families through education, resources, and lots of laughs. She continues to strengthen her community through local hospital autism partnerships, as well as a corporate autism training program. Sarah is a life coach to individuals and families with special needs.
Hi, my name is Sarah Bradford, otherwise known as S.J. Childs. S.J. Childs is my author name, which I decided to write children's books about special needs about 7 years ago. I have a son with autism who was diagnosed in 2011. And throughout our journey, me learning about autism and advocating for him, I realized that there was a need in the community for more education, especially for children, to help guide them and help them navigate him as their peer. And so I decided to write children's books. And my first children's book is DJ the Bear, a book about a bear with autism. And it really tells the story of our son DJ, who was a very, very quiet baby. And when he started in his developmental processes, it was evident that he was doing things a little differently than the average child, and he was diagnosed at 16 months old. And through that process, we really wanted to know how to have success and strategize ways to help him just have the best life he could have. And in that process, we went through a lot of different challenges. There were a lot of different therapies that we tried, and, some of them did well, some of them did not. We tried diet changes that really, really seemed to help. And we also just really looked at our style of parenting and tried to decide what was working and what wasn't, and try to fit a mold for him that was best for his needs. And through that, we were so lucky to come together as spouses and really work together in strategizing ways for his success. The exciting part was that a couple years later, I had a baby girl and a little sister who was so bright and so intelligent, and it right away was very evident that she would be kind of the big little sister for her brother. And both of my children were also born with a physical difference, which I carry hereditarily as well. And so I thought that it was so important to empower her with the same type of knowledge in the world, that although she may have some differences, that it was okay to stand up tall and be who she was. So I wrote the book Anna the Kitten, a book about physical differences. And in this book, it really details how no matter what your differences are, it's best that we feel great about them and embrace them and realize that our whole world is made up of diversity. And the more different we are, sometimes the better we can fit in because people are more relatable. And so that was really nice and really a great one for also her peers to help be supportive. Also, some challenges that we faced in our family was dyslexia. And I saw the growing need for children to understand dyslexia and the challenges that come with it. It's so hard for children to identify their problems when they don't have knowledge of what they are. So I really wanted to lay out a great source of examples and how to ask for help, how to talk to your teacher and your parents when things aren't making sense like the other kids around. And throughout this journey of authoring and looking into all of these subjects and topics, I really wanted to dive deep and to get a good understanding. I did a lot of research and, of course, am living in those experiences as well. But one really special book that I had the pleasure of having a sister-in-law who has passed away but had Down syndrome. And so I also have a family friend with a son with Down syndrome, and I thought what a great message to help also share with kids to write about a book about Down syndrome. And this book really tells what is Down syndrome, what is a chromosome, why does that matter, how does that work in our bodies, and just the example of what a great person that this boy Jack was, and how even though he went through struggles, he always had a joyful heart and was always kind to others, and such a great example for all of us, really. The most exciting thing that occurred throughout this process was that I was also able to kind of look at my own childhood and think, okay, well, what are some of the things that I struggled with as a child? And one thing that I struggle with, and I know that, hundreds of thousands of people also struggle with, is anxiety. And I wrote Wiley the Worried Worm, a book about anxiety, to help, again, identify those feelings, those physiological body responses to anxiety, how to calm down, how to help yourself be in a quiet place and do deep breathing exercises. Just some really great information, again, for kids, because I believe that when kids have knowledge, it turns fear into understanding, and they're more capable of going out and being productive and more supportive to their peers. So last but not least, one of the most special things that happened during the whole process of writing and self-publishing the books, was that, like I said, a lot of these books were about 7 years ago, written 7 years ago, but it wasn't until 2 years ago that my daughter, who was 8 at the time, decided, I'd like to do something special in a book as well. And she created her very own ABC book, and it is illustrated completely by her. And it was such a wonderful project for her and I to work on together, and to be able to take into the world with this empowering, I'm a published illustrator, and so it gave her a lot of confidence moving forward, especially with her dyslexia, because she was able to see that there were things that she had strengths and that she could accomplish things and be successful. So I hope that, these books will make it into schools in front of these children who deserve and need to have this information to be able to better support other children who have special needs, who might have an invisible disability. And when those kids are armed with knowledge, they can do better and help their peers. Another really great project that has come out of all of this is called an Autism Emergency Vehicle Safety Kit. And what I've created here is a vehicle sticker that goes on your door or your vehicle that says an individual with autism lives here or is on board. Autistic individuals may not communicate or comply in an emergency, and please see the emergency profile for more information. The emergency profile is what really ties this in to be the kind of educating piece for emergency responders. As you can see here, it has the layout and the child's needs or individual's needs, their verbal communication needs, and again, a communication board for nonverbal individuals. I also include masks and earplugs and a fidget toy just to kind of help calm any individuals that might need help in that situation. So those are some really great things that I've been able to work on in the autism community. And the most exciting thing that has come out of all of it, of course, is the SJ Child Show. The SJ Child Show was bred from me being a guest on other podcasts and going out as SJ Childs and really speaking about childhood empowerment and teaching about special needs and helping parents learn how to have better success and strategies and skills with their special needs child as well. So it's been really fantastic. We have over 100 episodes at this point. About half of them are autism related, autism advocates, autism professionals, and just really valuable information for families. My show's motto is SJ Child Show, bringing value to families through education and resources. It's a really fun show, and I'm just so excited with the rate of growth that it's having and the impact it's making on families. I hope that it continues to keep growing. I'm so passionate about sharing this information with the world. Some other projects I'm working on, I've partnered up with a autism real estate designer here in my local town of Salt Lake City, Utah, and she does sensory room design. So her and I have been in contact with our local children's hospital, and we are redesigning one of their emergency room department triage rooms to be a sensory friendly area for children with special needs. We're working closely with the emergency room staff in training. We're working also with some local law enforcement agencies and helping with training them in special needs and autism related events as well. So a lot of really amazing community work that we're doing. I'm so happy to be at the forefront of this exciting and very much needed, because just recently in the US, the numbers of autism are 1 in 44 children in America are diagnosed with autism. It's a 170% increase since the 1970s. It's an alarming rate that keeps increasing time and time, year and year again. So we need to be prepared as a community. We need to be prepared for employment for these individuals, to make accommodations. And I think just as a world in whole, we're really coming to let go of some of the stigmas of labels and ideas of mental health, and really embrace how we can better serve these communities. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I want to thank you so much, and I look forward to being a presenter. Please let me know if I need to provide anything else, and I will look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Shayna A. Jefferson, a native of Allendale, South Carolina, is a firm believer that everyone can transcend adversity and achieve greatness. Shayna is a dynamic and prolific mental health therapist, business coach, personal development strategist, and motivational speaker. She is inspired by her late father and civil rights activist, George M. Jefferson, to strive towards greatness while serving others. As a business coach and personal development strategist, Ms. Jefferson helps entrepreneurs strategize, monetize, and execute their vision without sacrificing their mental health so they can reclaim their time, gain clarity, and amplify their income and impact. Ms. Jefferson has recently celebrated esteemed recognition from Sisters Pushing Sisters International as an ordinary woman doing extraordinary things. Urban Spices Magazine's Trailblazing Woman, and the Tatiana Care Award, courtesy of ATL Hottest. Shayna will continue to fulfill these honors by sharing her spirit of greatness through a multifaceted portfolio of entrepreneurial endeavors to propel visionaries to the next level of greatness.
Hi there, visionary entrepreneurs, and welcome to the Created for Change Virtual Summit. I am super elated to share the stage with amazing visionaries, including the host, Mr. Marvin McQueen II. So thank you, Mr. McQueen, for creating this amazing platform. Now, before I introduce myself, I must commend every visionary watching this virtual summit for taking the time to invest in the most valuable real estate there is, and that is you. YOU. So please salute yourselves, my visionary brothers and sisters, for you could have spent your time doing a multitude of other things. Now, let me briefly introduce myself. Then we will jump into the topic, the mental cost of entrepreneurship. So I spent all of my adult life in North Carolina as well as Georgia. And currently, I split my time between Charlotte, North Carolina, and Atlanta, Georgia. I love all things Carolina basketball, traveling, personal development, and I can't leave out seafood, y'all. Don't judge me. Now, let's talk about business. Professionally, I am a psychotherapist, business coach, author, talk show host, motivational speaker, and personal development strategist. And last year, I also jumped into the short-term rental business. My mission is to help entrepreneurs such as yourself create harmony in your life and business. Now, I started my first business, Destination Greatness Mental Health Services, in 2013. And by the grace of God, y'all, we just celebrated 9 years of still standing. Now, certainly not a small feat, considering 50% of all businesses fail within the first 5 years. In 2020, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, I launched Visions of Greatness Enterprises, where we help entrepreneurs strategize, execute, and monetize their vision without, this is the key, y'all, without sacrificing their mental health. So enough about me. The topic once again for today is the mental cost of entrepreneurship. Let me pull up our presentation today. Perfect. Here we are. So the key points that we will cover today are: 1, what is the mental cost of entrepreneurship? 2, 5 pillars of personal development. 3, common symptoms of entrepreneurial stress. And 4, I'm going to provide you with 7 self-care strategies that any and every entrepreneur can implement and utilize in their life. Okay, a little more about my story briefly. Once again, I hail from Allendale, South Carolina. I graduated in 2006 from UNC Chapel Hill with my undergrad degree, and then again in 2009 with my master's social work degree. My credentials and certifications include certified financial social worker, licensed clinical social worker, and certified life and business coach. Now, my business ventures include, as I already mentioned, I am the owner and lead psychotherapist at Destination Greatness Mental Health Services since 2013. And I also launched Visions of Greatness Enterprises in 2020. I also serve as a life coach with my Living Boldly with Shayna platform. Here's just another brief timeline, starting in 2013 through today, 2022. Now, one of the things I'm super duper excited about is the launch of the Visions of Greatness Academy. And a matter of fact, enrollment starts April 1st. First classes will be made available on May 1st of 2022. So make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Shayna A. Jefferson. Also check out my website, ShaynaJefferson.com, for the latest updates. Now, more about the mental cost of entrepreneurship. I love this quote here by Kevin N. Lawrence, who proclaims that mental health is a business issue because your performance as a leader will be affected when you are stressed, upset, or you lack resilience. So my question for you that are watching today is, what are you doing to take charge of your mental health? Now, let's talk briefly about the mental cost of entrepreneurship. I coined the phrase, the mental cost of entrepreneurship, to raise awareness of the importance of mental health for entrepreneurs and challenging them to take a holistic approach to entrepreneurship. As a serial entrepreneur and business owner, I've experienced the trials and tribulations of this journey we call entrepreneurship. The sacrifices of time, energy, money, and relationships can take a toll. Trust, I've experienced it firsthand. Thus, it is imperative that we, as entrepreneurs, take a holistic approach to entrepreneurship and continue to propel each other forward. Now, this is actually one of the most exciting moments that I had in 2009. So I can't believe it's been nearly 3 years. I launched my very first collaborative book project course titled The Mental Cost of Entrepreneurship: Overcoming Adversity to Manifest Your Vision. So this book project features the stories of 10 amazing trailblazing entrepreneurs as they offer insight into their personal journey of overcoming the mental cost of entrepreneurship. So, how do you overcome the mental cost of entrepreneurship? Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that today as I offer you some strategies. But first and foremost, one of the main ways that I teach my clients and my students to take charge of their mental health and take a holistic approach to entrepreneurship is by creating a personal development plan. Now, hopefully everyone here today has heard of a personal development plan. So what is a personal development plan? Well, a personal development plan is essentially a broader set of goals that are similar to a map that you get to your final destination of business success. Creating a personal development plan for yourself and your business can help you achieve whatever your big picture goals are over the long term. Now, there are 5 pillars of personal development that I'm going to offer to you today. And we're not going to discuss these in detail today. we are going to focus on just the last aspect. So there's physical wellness, financial wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, mental wellness, which is what we're going to focus on. I love this quote here. Improving your mental health is one of the best things that you can do for your business. Now, I wish I was able to actually engage in dialogue with each of you today, but hopefully this quote resonates with each of you. Now, let's talk about some common symptoms of entrepreneur stress. There was actually a study conducted by the University of California that suggests that nearly 50%, 49% to be exact, of entrepreneurs experience or will experience a mental illness at some point. And that's compared to 25% of the general population. So here are some common symptoms of entrepreneur stress. Won't go over them in detail, but entrepreneur stress can manifest as mental symptoms, emotional symptoms, or physical symptoms. So if you or someone that you know has experienced any of these symptoms, I strongly, strongly encourage you to get in contact with Visions of Greatness today. We can certainly, one of our first steps will be to complete a mental wellness checkup. And again, you can go to my website at ShaynaJefferson.com to learn more about that service. 7 self-care strategies for entrepreneurs. All right, so let's dive into this. Strategy number 1, go outside. Who can do that? I think all of us, right, can go outside. It's easy for us to spend our day as entrepreneurs stuck behind the computer or on the phone, but I challenge you to stop for a few minutes and step outside. Do this even if it's really hot, cold, rainy, or snowing. It doesn't have to be long, but 2 to 3 minutes can make a huge, huge difference. Number 2, exercise. Now, it'll be great if you had a serious fitness routine, but what I'm talking about is simply using your body in some way. Spend a few minutes stretching or walking down the block or walk up a flight of stairs. The bottom line and the key is to do something, okay? Strategy number 3 is to nourish yourself. I challenge you to eat regularly, stop for meals, don't go hungry, and keep yourself hydrated. Your brain cannot work, y'all, when it's looking for food. Or maybe I'm speaking for myself, okay? But your brain cannot work when it's looking for food. Strategy number 4 is to laugh. You can't be serious 100% of the time. Now, sometimes I have to check myself and others check me for this as well. Yes, the work that we do is important and the money that we earn from doing our work is vital to our existence. But just take a few minutes each and every day to laugh out loud. Strategy number 5 is to connect. Now, especially with solopreneurs, life can get lonely. So it's important that we reach out to others. So I encourage you to connect with someone and have at least one conversation with them every day that perhaps has nothing to do with your business. Strategy number 6, play. Playtime, y'all. Okay. Y'all remember in school, there was always recess, right? And if you didn't get recess, we felt a certain type of way. But as adults, it's okay to play as well. Work hard, play hard. Work hard, play harder. Okay. Do something other than work that you enjoy that takes you out of your everyday routine. And strategy number 7 is to forgive. Now, we tend to be harder on ourselves than anyone else, and that's simply not fair. It's okay if you make a mistake. What's not okay, y'all, what is not okay, do y'all hear me? What is not okay is to beat yourself up about it. When you make a mistake, figure out what next step you need to take and move on. If I can tell you about all the mistakes or lessons that I've learned in the now 9 years as a business owner, we'll be chatting all day perhaps, okay? But the key is to learn from those lessons. All right. Well, we don't have much time remaining, so let me share a little bit more about the services that we offer at Visions of Greatness. Mental wellness checkups, boss strategy sessions, be your own boss jumpstart package, as well as our Monetize Your Vision intensive. Certainly, you can scan the QR code there to get more information about our services, including to book a discovery call. Additional services offered include our brand exposure packages, blog interviews, as well as our Visionary Conversations with Shana series. And again, all these details can be found on my website at shanajefferson.com. And I'm also elated to announce that we are seeking co-authors, visionaries for Volume 2 of the Mental Cost of Entrepreneurship. So if you are an entrepreneur ready to share your story, the trials, the tribulations, you're doing this journey of entrepreneurship, then I encourage you to send us an email at info@shanajefferson.com for additional information. If you don't remember anything else that I discussed today, I want you to remember that your business cannot succeed without you. Your business cannot succeed without you. Apologize for that, y'all. Okay. So once again, as a recap, as entrepreneurs, it is important, it is imperative, okay? It is essential that we take charge of our mental health. It is essential that we take a holistic approach to entrepreneurship. If you are a fellow entrepreneur that you know, if you're struggling in any area, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially, don't hesitate, y'all, okay? Don't hesitate to get in contact with my company, Visions of Greatness, today. We are in this together, y'all. Let's win together. I believe this last slide here has my contact information. Let me see if I can enlarge it here. Well, it's not too much larger, but nevertheless, once again, you can find me on all social media platforms at shanajefferson.com. Love and greatness. I definitely appreciate each of you tuning in today, and I look forward to connecting with you in the near future. Later. Bye.
A native of Jacksonville, Florida, Marvin McQueen II has a life mission of motivate, movement, momentum. Marvin wants everyone to be motivated, have positive momentum, and build the greatest. A native of Jacksonville, Florida, Marvin McQueen II has a life mission of motivate, movement.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me. That's right, it's me. Thank you for being a part of it. And yes, I am Marvin McQueen II, the creator of this wonderful virtual summit. I first off want to say thank you to every speaker that just thought of me to join in. Let's collaborate, let's push and do something. Let's create change in this world that we're living in. We all need something to get better and to go better in this life, and it starts with us. And so I am grateful. Thank you. If I was able to, I'll say, hug every speaker I would put hand sanitizer on, we put mask on, do whatever we got to do, and just hug each other, because every now and again you need someone in your corner to let you know that you're headed there. This vision has been in my head, and I am grateful to have just put it out there, take the courage and get that focus and push it out there. And so I'm grateful for it. Every speaker, I appreciate you so very, very, very much. And once I get $1 million, I'll give you all $1. I promise you, I will. I'll give you, well, no, I'll give you more. I'll give you more. So grateful, thankful for each and every one of the speakers. Listen, all of you have been great as well. I want you to keep doing it, keep sharing it, keep tuning in. Some of you may be in an office setting or something and you have it on. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I got an inbox earlier about the introduction, about my t-shirt. So this t-shirt is courtesy of Shana A. Jefferson. Y'all make sure y'all visit her website as well. Another thing, make sure you're going back through the commercials, different things like that happen. Every speaker has something to offer, so follow them on the different social medias as well. Please connect with them. They want to hear from you. All right, they want to hear from you. So let them know that you was tuned in to the Created for Change Virtual Summit, and you enjoyed them. I enjoyed them. I have notes. My notes are over. It is somewhere. I put in my notes somewhere. Not only did I use my phone, but I used notes and I wrote some things down as well, just to encourage me through this process. So let's keep pushing. Let's keep going. There's so much out there that we must learn, that we must know. As for me, I have my notes up. I'm going to show you, tell you what it is that I would like to add in and relay to this. And so my title that I'm going to deal with on today in this summit is Believe in Your Vision. You see it right there. Believe in your vision. I want to really onset this with the start of talking about the law of attraction, because when we get into this, we want to get this principle, get this law together. And it is a universal principle that states, and it says that you will attract into your life whatever you focus on. All right. So whatever you're giving your energy to, whatever you're giving your attention to is going to come back to you. And so whatever you're focusing on, that's going to happen. And so when I said focus, I have to let you know, quite honestly, I cringed, because I know that word is so loosely interpreted and so loosely used. All of us need focus, and I do believe we do not need to make it as simple as it sounds, all right? And so focus is not just a simple word. It involves some heavy lifting, all right? It involves some changing, some movements in some different ways. It not only involves some movement within your physical body, but it also has some heavy lifting that's going on within your mind. And so your goal with using just that principle that I use with the law of attraction is going to help you believe into your vision. All right. It's going to help you go to where you need to go. The first thing I want to encourage you with is believe that it's possible. All right. Believe that it's possible. First of all, when you believe that it's possible, you got to believe that whatever it is that I'm putting my focus on, putting my mind in, putting my understanding, my energy, my attention, that is the thing that is going to happen for me. So it is possible for you to get that job, for that job opening that you might see. It is possible for you to want to work at this place and have that corner office. It is possible for you to have that huge house at the end of the corner in the cul-de-sac. All right. It is possible that people can develop businesses and things over and over again. Whatever your vision is, right? Whatever you're trying to change, whatever you're trying to get better, believe that it's possible. And that's the key to the success that you're going to have. This is what I want to call like the bedrock of your success, because if you don't believe in your vision that you have, then you're just wasting your time. It's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. You may end up undermining your own self. There's a lot of us that are sabotaging our own self because in the back of our minds, we're saying to myself, I can't do it. I don't know if this is going to happen. This is not going to happen for me. This can't be real. This is not, it's going to all fall apart. And can I tell you what's going to happen? It's going to fall apart. And I want to encourage you and inspire you and motivate you to listen. You have to believe that it's possible. All right. Secondly, I want to show you is that believe you can do it. It's so funny. I just thought about the Adam Sandler movie. The guy, I think it was in Waterboy. He's like, "You can do it." Don't mind me, y'all. Please don't mind me. All right. So this second thing, believe that you can do it. This next step is to say to yourself, "I can do it." It's not someone else. It's not my friend. It is not my neighbor. It is not my parents. It is not my brothers, not my sister, but it's you. I'm telling you that you're the one. I'm talking about you. You're the one that can do it. Individually and personally, you can do it. And so this puts you in the middle of the picture. Listen, it's all about you right now. Right now, it's all about you. You're in the middle. You're no longer just looking at your vision as some sort of speculation. You're no longer looking at your vision in this realm of theory that's happening, saying, what if this? Or you can say, that would be nice if this would happen. No. Instead of putting things around you in the center of attention, you are now the center of attention. Who told you that it can't be about you? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. It can be about you. There are some things that's a full picture that cannot be about you. But in this instance, when you're believing in your vision, trying to get some change in your life, trying to create some new avenues of success for yourself, trying to get that those multi streams of income, trying to grow the YouTube, trying to grow the Instagram, trying to grow the business, trying to grow the family. Listen here, you can do it. And that's what we have to believe. We have to jump in and say to ourselves, listen, I'm going to believe that it's going to happen. I believe that these things are going to happen in my life. I believe a lot of things. When you're believing something, what you're really saying is that I feel sure of this truth that I'm seeing. All right. I am holding on to this opinion. I am thinking it. I accept something. This is what I'm accepting. So if I'm going to accept change in my life, if I'm going to accept the vision of my life, my goals and my dreams that's going to happen in my life, I have to truly, truly believe that I can do it. And so I've showed you that you have to believe that it's possible, believe that you can do it. Listen here. Here's the third thing I want to show you. Believe that your vision is clear. I don't know how to tell you. It's been countless times. Everyone, listen, it's been countless times that I have second guessed myself. And I've second guessed myself so much that I talked myself out of doing something that should have been successful for me. So I used to say this, and I'm going to be honest with you. I used to say this all the time. And I just recently just told myself, stop saying it. I used to say, well, I have an idea that'll work for somebody else, but it may not work for me. Yep, I did. That was me. I said it to myself. I said, listen here, I'm good. I'm good at helping someone else. And maybe that's not my assignment. Maybe it's not just my goal. Maybe the Lord does not want me to do this. And don't want me to say it'll be good for somebody else, but not good for me. Let me tell you something. You have to believe that your vision is clear. You have to step into this place and understand that if I have clarity about it, if I have an understanding of what I need to do, then I must go after it. A clear vision leaves no room for interpretation. All right. A clear vision has no blind spots. All right. There are spots that you may have to fill in based on your circumstances. But listen, there are no blind spots that's going to like flat out surprise you and knock you off your feet. Things are going to become clear. Things are going to get better. Your focus, you know, you're at the eye doctor and they turn the thing and they lose it. I don't know what right now I can't think of the name of it, but when they check everything else, listen here, they're trying to make sure that your ultimate success is you can see once you leave here. I know we're going to get your insurance money. I know we're going to charge you for this. We're going to charge you for that. But listen here, you get a chance to go after what you need to do because I want to make sure you can see everything becomes clear. The storm that you might go through in your life, sometimes it's come to clear the way. All right. The misunderstandings that you have, the disappointments that you may have in your life, Those things may come to make sure that you have clear vision. Sometimes things come to clear the way for you, not to clutter you, but to clear the way for you. All right. And so we have to do what we need to do. And the last thing I want to show you, and I'm done, you have to act on your vision. So funny. I have inspired you with this, but I had to be inspired myself. Created for Change Virtual Summit was a vision I had. And I said, all right, we're going to do it this year. So many things have transpired in my life. And so now I'm like at the point, I need to act on my vision. You have to believe that you can act on your vision. This is so important. All right. If you believe this, then it means that you have the resources already, or you can have access to the resources. And I'm so grateful that we have the resources that we're on right now. I know you're tuned in on different social media platforms. And thank you for tuning in. And so it means that this is the right time to act on it. All right. Because you have the access to it. You know certain things that you didn't think that you knew. You can act on it. This is not something that you can speculate or something that that's locked away until certain things fall into place. Listen, the time is now. Marvin McQueen is telling you that the time is now. So instead, you believe you can act on it right here, right now. It doesn't matter if it's a small step. It doesn't matter if it's in a place where you're not really understanding what you need to do. Listen, take a step. You take one step, a lot of things will fall into place because you're giving your attention to it. All right. And so we're letting that law of attraction work for us. We're letting our faith work for us. If you believe that you can do it, guess what? It can be done. This is a crucial step for us. This is where your faith really blows up, because you know that you are you're not playing games with yourself anymore. You're not messing around with it anymore. You have made it to this point. Now you say, you know what? I believe that it has already happened. How? If your vision is to do whatever you need to do, listen, you're going to be put in that place. There's tons of people that's been put in a place. If your vision is to become successful with something, guess what you got to do? You have to put yourself in that manner. Put yourself around those people. Allow yourself the power to change things regularly in your life. Reshape your ability, reshape your personal ability to edit your reality, right? Start thinking a different way. Start changing your mindset to a different place. Start talking about things in a different way. Start valuing things. Start changing your expectations and changing your assumptions. This is a crucial step in pushing you forward. Listen, I don't know who you are, but today is a great day. You've been created for change. And the reason I know you've been created for change is because you have a vision within you. You have a goal within you. And since you have all of that within inside of you, believe in your vision and watch all of these things come to pass in your life. Listen, you've been created for change. That's my time. That is my time. I am grateful for the opportunity to present to you today. I'm thankful that all of you are tuned in, doing what you need to do. Listen, don't forget to share. Don't forget to grow. Don't forget to connect with us. So many different things. Pay attention to the different commercials and announcements. Pay attention to the chat. There's some people in there chatting as well. Listen, if you have any questions or anything like that, connect with us. Connect with me and my team, and we'll get back to you. We'll connect with you as well. So follow us on social media. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's up and running. It's new. And so I need friends. I need people just like you to help me out. So the Creating Change Group, our website, creatingchangegroup.com. A lot of things will be on the website. So do different things, anything that you may see that'll help you grow. Become a part of it and watch us create the change in this world. And it is something that we need as well. All right, that's my time. Y'all have a good one.